Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to Money Control. I'm Karunya Rao and with me is Manisha Gupta, and today we are here to give you an update on gold prices, which have quite surprisingly held very firm after a hiatus of many months now, firmly above 53,000 per 10 grams for gold. What is aiding this resilience?
Oh, well, absolutely, Karunya. Last quarter wasn't so great. We saw 8% of decline in the gold prices. But not just that, this quarter started well, but for the month of November itself, we have seen very strong gains come in for the prices. As you said, 53,000 is back on chart. The high for this year has been 53,600. But that was when the gold prices in the international markets were at $2,050 per ounce. So even as we are at 1770, we already are at 53,000. That's because of the rupee depreciation as well. But the strength comes in on the back of weakness in US dollar index, which is trading at a 3-month lows from 113 of a high to holding at around 106 right now. It clearly has been supportive. And then markets have seen the US inflation ease off a bit. The US Fed may not hike interest rates more than 50 basis points, is what the Fed fund futures tell us. There's an 85% probability of a 50 basis point rate hike. Clearly, very supportive. And then there's a lot of buying coming in finally from investment arena as well. There is all banks and brokerages, everybody that we hear coming, the financial experts as well, saying that you should have gold in your portfolio. There are higher inflation concerns, there is a recession concerns, slowdown in 2023 that everybody seems to be getting ready for. That has been supportive. And then the Indian big fat weddings in India, the lot of jewelry buying that we are seeing in the showrooms, the reports of that, clearly all of that has been supportive too.
Yeah, and there's been record buying also that's taking place by central banks. What I'm looking at is the data you shared from the World Gold Council about central banks buying a record 399 tons gold worth $20 billion in the third quarter. Turkey, Uzbekistan, Qatar, India, they have been the biggest buyers. So do you think this will sort of plateau or taper off the buying that's happening because a bulk of demand is coming in from the central banks across the world right now?
Oh, absolutely. When you look at quarter on quarter or year on year data here, the global central banks have been buying. But as you mentioned, the last quarter was perhaps the best in 50 years, the kind of jump up that we saw in central bank buying. So clearly, if the banks can buy it, so can investors, is the line that World Gold Council and all the gold sellers clearly have been tagging on. Good buying momentum is what we are seeing in from various funds as well. So yes, when there is a bit of an uncertainty going forward from on how the world economy would go on from here, does make you understand that yes, there could be some sustainability coming in, and there's a lot of people who are getting into this market now. When we have seen nearly 8 to 9% of gains coming in last 6 months, so there is buying happening right now with an expectation that by the end of this year, you could be looking at gold prices at around 54,000, 54 and a half. There have been some brokerages putting out a level of 55,000 as well, expecting the international gold prices to hit 1850 on the higher side. So there still are those go long strategies coming in, higher targets being given out.
Yeah, and what are these targets for the end of the year? Can we expect gold to soar further from these levels, or is this pretty much close to the peak?
No, it does look like that you could be looking at higher prices from here. I mean, we are told that if 1730, 1740, $40 per ounce holds on charts as a support, then we are looking at levels of 1850 on the higher side as well. Ditto for the Indian gold prices. Until the time we are holding that 52,700 kind of levels here, we perhaps are readying ourselves for 54 and a half, 55,000 kind of levels as well. And that could be seen within this year itself.
So, so it's still not too late to buy. Then perhaps people don't need to feel the FOMO.
But the thing with Indians is that we keep buying gold and silver so often. So I'm assuming we don't FOMO out. We do keep buying it. So it's just that your wealth has continued to increase here. But if you are looking to buy from an investment perspective, even at these levels, I think these are good levels even now.
Okay. On that note, we'll wrap up today's conversation. Thanks for getting us that update on gold prices. So we'll be back again tomorrow, guys, at 1 o'clock with a fresh new update on commodities.